As the evening sun slowly set, an air of unease filled the city streets. Exhausted workers were heading home, and streetlights were flickering on one by one. The air was cold, but Zane felt an indescribable heaviness in his heart. Zane, a tall, dark-skinned man with a lean yet determined posture, stood out. He wore a faded shirt and jeans with frayed pockets. His shoes bore the marks of days of endless walking. Today was no ordinary day for him. He urgently needed to bring bread home for his daughter. Ignoring the faint pangs of hunger in his stomach, he quickened his steps toward the corner market. He hesitated briefly outside the market. Through the glass, he saw an elderly man sitting behind the counter, busy with his accounts. The shopkeeper, Sam, had lived in the neighborhood for years, leading a simple life. His white hair and deeply lined face reflected the burdens life had placed on him. When Zane entered, the chatter of the other customers abruptly stopped. A few glances turned toward him, suspicious, judgmental, and cold. Zane took a deep breath and walked up to the counter. "Good evening," Zane said, his voice low but resolute. "I need a loaf of bread for my daughter, but I don't have any money with me. Please, let me take it. I'll pay you back as soon as I can." Sam studied Zane carefully. There was weariness and desperation in the man's eyes, but also honesty. Years of experience told Sam that Zane was truly in need. Without hesitation, Sam reached under the counter and handed Zane a loaf of bread. "Take it," Sam said warmly. "It's yours. Don't worry about the money." From the other side of the shop, a few customers watched the exchange. Two of them began whispering. "He's probably a con artist," one said. The other smirked. "Sam is always too gullible." Their murmurs reached Zane's ears, but he ignored them. Clutching the bread bag tightly, he gave Sam a look filled with gratitude and quickly left the market. The journey back home was far more difficult than the trip to the market. Zane walked through narrow, dark alleyways, overshadowed by cold, concrete buildings. The dim lights flickered and the streets felt desolate, yet the weight of the bread in his hand carried the hope in his heart. When he arrived home, he saw his daughter wrapped in a small, worn blanket, her innocent face peaceful as she slept. Zane placed the bread on the modest wooden table and looked at her. Tears welled up in his eyes and quietly rolled down his cheeks. At that moment, he made a vow to himself. He would never forget Sam's kindness. Zane never once forgot the promise he made to himself that night. He worked any job he could find in the neighborhood, carrying bricks, painting walls, collecting garbage. He worked tirelessly, day and night. His daughter grew up, started school, and excelled in her studies. Zane's dedication and hard work did not go unnoticed. While working as a laborer on a construction site, his exceptional efforts and integrity caught the attention of a contractor. The contractor offered him a better position, and for the first time in his life, things started to turn around for Zane. Zane continued to rise in his career. Over time, he became a prominent figure in the construction industry. He established his own company and undertook major projects. He was now a wealthy man with a beautiful home, a comfortable life, and a bright future for his daughter. Yet no matter how successful he became, he never forgot that loaf of bread and the kindness Sam had shown him. That small but profound act of generosity during his darkest hour remained etched in his mind. One day, Zane decided to visit the neighborhood where he had lived years ago. Walking through the narrow streets where he had once felt so hopeless, he realized how far he had come. The market where Sam had worked was now replaced by another shop. Curious about Sam's whereabouts, Zane asked some old neighbors and learned that Sam was living in a nursing home. Without hesitation, Zane decided to visit him. At the nursing home, Sam was now frail and aged, but his face still bore the same warm expression. When Zane introduced himself, Sam immediately remembered him. "That loaf of bread," Sam said with a faint smile. "I don't know how much it helped you, but I felt it was the right thing to do that day." Zane held Sam's hand. "That loaf of bread didn't just fill my stomach," he said. "It gave me hope and restored my faith in humanity. Who I am today is because of you." Zane made sure that Sam's life in the nursing home was as comfortable and joyful as possible. Additionally, he established a foundation in Sam's name, Sam's Hope Foundation. This foundation helped those in need, ensuring that Sam's kindness and Zane's gratitude would live on forever. Every year, at the foundation's annual events, Zane would take the stage and share Sam's story. The audience, moved by his words, often couldn't hold back their tears. Each time, Zane would say, "If it weren't for Sam, I wouldn't be here today." Sam, listening from the crowd, would wipe away tears as memories of that small market flooded back to him. Sam's name and kindness now symbolized hope for not just one person, but hundreds, perhaps thousands. Karma was a circle, and kindness had a way of traveling from one person to another, returning in the most unexpected moments. Zane's life had been transformed by Sam's small act of generosity. Now Zane's own acts of kindness were touching countless lives. And every morning as the sun rose, Zane continued to carry forward the legacy of Sam's kindness.